What up? It's E. White from 101.3 KDWB. We hanging out with Gayle. It's lit. Let's go. Yes, for sure. Welcome to Minneapolis. First time here.
Oh my gosh, thank
Super
you.
dope.
Thank you.
I ask this with all the artists just because I love to get to know your psyche a little bit. When you go into a new city for the first time, what's the first thing you go for? What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm probably looking for the thing that the place is known for.
Okay.
I guess food wise.
I got you.
I always try and find the best food in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I just pass out in the hotel.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Get as much sleep as I possibly can.
I feel
caffeine,
that.
Food.
100%.
That's totally how it goes.
Totally. What's been the go-to, or what have you gotten so far in the city that you've
here,
really loved? Or...
I mean, I've been here I got here at 8 o'clock in the morning
Oh,
because I was
never
on
mind.
the bus. But
you got coffee. Where'd you stop?
I didn't get coffee. I did not get it for myself because people are so lovely.
Oh, is that okay? Never mind. It's all good. If you need coffee, rest.
Nice.
I got you.
Oh,
no worries. Yeah, seriously, we got this.
I was very lucky, and then my manager and I are staying in the same hotel room, so she made Kira and coffee.
Very nice.
It was really nice. No, I went to Chicago. I was in Chicago yesterday.
Sick.
And we had the deep dish pizza.
Oh,
that was really good. I had a pistachio glazed donut.
Ooh.
That was really good. I went to the Starbucks Reserve. I got an iced doppio, which is always great.
You just going hard.
Straight up crack.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And then I got the dark chocolate latte thing. And got a fruit. I love how I'm just giving you my.
Seriously, I'm here for this.
I got a fruit parfait with Greek yogurt and fruit and granola.
If you want to be a food vlogger, I think you have it down.
I honestly, there's times I was trying to find there's a time where I was staying in LA for a month and I tried to find the best Denny's with mozzarella sticks.
Yes.
Which Denny's had the best mozzarella sticks. And it was different every location.
Yo, straight up. It depends on who's slinging it, right?
Exactly.
Have you been to Waffle? You're from the South. You know what Waffle House is. Yeah, each Waffle House is different. Exactly.
Dude,
Did I just unlock the memory? I'm so sorry.
No. I go to Waffle House probably, this is really bad, but I go to Waffle House 3 to 10 times in a week.
Dude,
I've gone for 3 because also that's my thing. I love Waffle House. My friends know I love Waffle House. So I'll be with a friend in the morning. They'll be let's see Waffle House. I'm great. And then I'll be lunch. I want Waffle House. And then my friends will be you know what? For dinner, because I'm with new people, they're let's go to Waffle House. I'm sure.
Sure,
yeah,
why not?
Great.
Hell,
yeah.
We've never been. Why not?
It's
Just get
so
into it.
good. I love Waffle House. It's so great.
Okay. So confirmed, Gayle likes Waffle House.
No, literally. In Nashville, there's so many Waffle Houses.
Turn left and right. We don't have any here in Minnesota. No. It's pain. It's straight up pain.
And on tour, I haven't been able to have Waffle House in a month.
Dude, we gotta get back on it. Seriously, one of these days. Seriously, 100%.
Yeah.
Enough about food.
Yeah,
obviously.
sorry.
No, it's all good. No, I mean, trust me, we both went on the tangent and we're both hungry right now. Obviously, the song, has been blowing up everywhere and it's been great with the TikTok and all that. And so I'm sure you're super proud of it. But I was listening to the record earlier, the EP,
yes.
and I'm just curious, out of all the songs on there, because you obviously put a lot of passion into it and you wrote some of these songs with your best friend, what's your favorite song on the album, or the EP, I guess?
Yeah, how dare you?
It's a little shorter, it's all good, give or take.
I would say it switches up, but I would say Kiddie Pool. That was the first song I wrote for the project.
So I'm not just saying that because you said it, but honestly, when I was listening to it in the car, I was that's the one. I feel it's going to be the one she goes with. Yeah, 100%.
Gosh, yeah, no, I wrote that song when I was 15.
That's crazy.
And I was so excited to put it out, and then I just never did. And then I was so excited to perform it, and then I just was never able to.
Right.
And so that song just feels a really long time coming, that it's finally out, and I wrote that song in Nashville on a guitar with some of my favorite people to make music with, and it was such a fun experience, and I was so just in love, I was just, and it's I think it captures a really sweet moment of time in my life.
Which those are the best ones, right? The ones where you can just actually pinpoint this was just a time I was at peace, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I guess it's also when you admit the fact that you want to love somebody, it kind of also admits that you want them to love you back.
True.
And it's a scary thing, especially as a young kid, to just be I want to love you and know everything about you,
right,
and please feel the same about me.
Which is so complex, especially when you're your age, you're younger, right? So it's there's a lot of life you haven't experienced yet, and so that first real experience is real heavy, right?
Yeah, and you don't know what it feels like, and you don't know what it feels like when it's gone, and it's so intense. It's so love is crazy, especially love when you don't understand it or know it. Any way, you don't have any relationship with young love or any love in general.
Facts.
It's wild.
Absolutely crazy, 100%.
Like nobody tells you how much you actually feel.
No, exactly. You don't know how to feel. You don't know what to do. You gotta figure it out for yourself. You know, and you're making it work. That's all you gotta do.
And when you're figuring it out, you're terrified to mess it up.
Yeah, 1000%. Absolutely. You mentioned Nashville and like growing up there. And you did grow up there, right?
A little bit. I'm from Texas originally. I moved there when I was 12. So
Got you.
Childhood, like baby childhood, like when I go back to Texas, I think of me as a little kid.
Okay.
Nashville's more of like the coming of age teenager, like
the growth of GAYLE, if you will.
Yeah, like actually becoming a human being, like cutting my hair, piercing my nose, dyeing it, you know
exactly. The life crises and everything.
Oh yeah, it was a fun time. The identity switch.
The identity.
I'm different now.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. You'll go through a few more of those. We all do. Right. But you grew up in the South. You grew up in that whole spot and everything, and it's like, I feel like for the the people that didn't grow up there, you hear Texas, you hear Tennessee, you hear like any Alabama, the South in general, you think just like country bumpkin, right? And it's just like, and unfortunately, like obviously there's a different vibe, and Nashville is pretty progressive and everything, but I feel like you were surrounded by so much different music, and so like when you were coming of age, who were the artists that you were listening to that were really like part of the growth? Like, what was the one thing you loved?
When I first started in music, it was Aretha Franklin. Like, she was the thing that like did it for me.
You're cool, dude. Honestly, like, you're freaking dope.
No, she's so like she made me like feel the thing. Like when you like decide to go into music, because it's like music is like too hard for you not to love it. Like to just like try and do it, especially when it's like it is an unconventional career path, and people, especially in the South, and I feel like anywhere, it can be just very judgmental of unconventional career paths. You have to like really obnoxiously love music, or else it's not worth it. Like it's just not, and you can't do it for anybody else either. You have to like have the base of the love that you have for it, and then,
it's you. It's for you. Exactly.
And so like that's what kind of like ignited that. And then I started out in country music just because I was from Texas. South. It just kind of was the way it was, and I was really attracted to like the soulful side of country. And I guess I used to listen to like Reba McEntire. I used to listen to Dixie Chicks.
Right.
Got into some Chris Stapleton because his voice is absolutely.
I don't love country, and Chris Stapleton is like one that just grabs me immediately.
Ashley McBryde is also really good. I really like their music. And then I kind of like. I guess I started going to Nashville, started writing songs, and I just felt like, especially as a woman in country music, there's so many rules. There's so many things that get put onto you. And there, it's more of like just restrictions on like ABC, and take away the melodies. If you just have the lyrics of that song, that would not have flown, especially as a woman in country music and country radio. You would not have been able to sing that.
Like, who is this? What's she doing? Exactly.
Even like, like, especially, like, in sometimes, like, the way that I dress could be more shocking to people, or even, like, the fact that I, like, had dyed hair and pierced nose, like, and especially from a young age, I started going to Nashville at 10, and I literally had people, they weren't doing anything actually substantial in the music industry, but, like, I'd meet with anybody that claimed to be something and claimed that could teach me anything about the music industry. I'd meet up with anybody that'd be willing. With my mom right next to me, obviously.
Right.
Like, I've literally had people look me dead in the eyes and tell me that, like, you need to watch what you're eating because you're in the music industry and you chose this, and, like, like, people aren't gonna like you if you don't look a specific way. Or even, like, I was always told, love songs sell. Oh my gosh. People love it when a girl's just in love with somebody, like, don't be a thing that can be, like, unlikable or uncomfortable for people. And even, like, I showed ABC to my grandmother. Nice. And I was nervous,
Sure, absolutely.
I had a song called Breakup Sex. I had so many, like, I had a chunk of songs that was like, getting the grandma approval. Let's see. And you know what she said? And she said, you get to say all the things at 17 that I never got to. Which is so true. And in 17 in country music, that's still something I can't say,
Right.
And so I guess I had this point in my life when I was like 12, I was like, I don't want to have to abide by these rules. And there's still rules that are like, it's like this invisible line as a woman that you're always like trying to figure out when you cross it or not, because other people decide that for you.
Right.
When things get a little difficult, and then you have to decide, like, does it matter to me? Does it not?
Is it like that important?
Yeah, is
like,
it that important to me?
All of it is effed up. But
or to other people.
Exactly,
like, it's a choice of like, do I want to go through the struggle of that, or do I just abide by it? And for me, I felt like I had more freedom in pop and the invisible line was so much farther away than it was in country that I was like, that's when I kind of had the transition. And then like Taylor Swift also transitioned kind of like to pop music at the same time, where I was like, and then she did it beautifully and successfully, and like it was one of those things. And like pop radio had open arms for her, and she was even still getting nominated for country awards at the same time too, you know. And I was like, wow, okay, you can do that. You can be a young woman in pop music and like be successful. And then Billie was like a young woman and also not being the most like, she just talked about her mental health and not talking about the best sides of herself.
Exactly.
And that was so inspiring. And then like even Olivia, like she is a young woman that's being openly angry and talking about relationships. And like and then like I obviously found like Alanis Morissette and Joan Jett and like Stevie Nicks, and just started finding that as well.
Yeah,
you know, like the OGs, you know, like the
yes.
people that really are like, we're gonna do what men do, but kind of better.
I mean,
you know,
it's
like,
just facts, honestly. Like, come on.
And so many people hated them for it.
Not naturally.
They got so much criticism for
like
it.
the worst
but
reasons.
they literally paved the way to give women like me to say the things that I want to say.
Exactly.
It's a long story short.
No, 100%. And like, you know, what you're doing is like, I think that's the cool part about like your music, Billie, like you're transcending genres, right? It's like you're getting people to listen to pop music or like whatever you want to call it that would never usually listen to it, you know, whether that be through TikTok or just how you're telling your stories and everything. You're inspiring this generation to be open and honest, and I think that's the great part, right? That's really cool. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, and I in no way think I'm the only person doing that. I'm not saying that like ABC was the peak of music or I'm like pushing a genre.
Right,
but,
right.
You know, I just like wrote the song with my best friend, and it's really empowering to have been able to like say these things and having the possibility of not hating me for it.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. And how's that been, that journey with your best friend? Like, is that like cool? Like, because
Girl,
I think
so great.
everybody dreams about doing a project with their best friend and just like actually being able to execute it and see something come of it is like a beautiful thing, right?
Especially just being like two young up and coming women in the songwriting and music industry, like not being competitive against each other and just really believing like, I want Sarah to write so many other hits with so many other artists, you know, because she's that talented and she can, you know, and like I know that she wants that for me too, and like to be able to have this first success together has been really, really beautiful. And like even sometimes like attention's scary, especially when you get a lot more than you had 6 months ago. It can
100%.
be intimidating. It's so exciting, and I'm very grateful. But it's not easy. It's not easy to like just like sit down and accept it all at once. And so, even when I'm in like my lowest points, I also think about like what this has been able to change for Sarah, and what this has been able to change for Dave, and what it's done for other people. And that also gets me to really like happy and more like stable place. And then I just also am like, this is cool, I think. Like, this is fun. I don't know.
It's crazy how mature your headspace is, though. Like, you know, because I think a lot of people growing up, they wouldn't think like that. But you're thinking, you have a very everybody eats mentality, and I think that's great.
Thank you. I mean, I try and think about other people and not just like think about myself.
Right. No.
The whole time.
That's just generation. You know, like the younger millennials and like older Gen Zs and the Gen Z generation. I think a lot of us are more conscious of, you know, other people. Yeah, 100%, definitely.
We're working on it.
Yo, seriously, shout out therapy. Everybody should be in therapy. Real talk.
Yes. I don't go to therapy. I should.
Yeah, I haven't
I'm
gone
working
in a couple
on
weeks.
it. Yeah.
I need to be on it.
But it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Go
do it for sure. Yo, Gayle, thank you so much. This was fantastic. Obviously, for KDWB, I'm E White.
Yeah.